it's Haunted here, and thank you once again for helping me reach 200 subscribers. Guys, I'm eternally grateful. I didn't think I'd actually get past 100 subscribers, so thank you once again for helping me reach 200 subscribers. And guys, let's aim for the next milestone, which is 400. Hopefully we can get that by the end of the next month. But I want to ask for a favor, so hopefully if you guys are enjoying my content, please like the video. It really helps out, and also share the video because I want to grow the channel. I want to help provide insightful information. And guys, again, I wouldn't be here at the stage if it wasn't for you. I know it's not a massive achievement for a lot of people probably, but I didn't think I could actually produce content that would be worth watching. But you guys have supported me really well, and I'm glad I can actually put out some good videos. So guys, let's try to aim for the next milestone of 400 subscribers. And again, thank you so much, and let's get on with the video. Yo guys, it's Haunted Lime, and today we're doing a showcase of Registeel and Altaria. So this team is actually made by OxfordU. It helped him reach Legend just a couple of days ago or last week, and I've been using it for myself for the last few days, and it actually performs really well. Altaria and Registeel, they've been kicked out of the Open Ultra League due to G-Fisk and Azumarill. Now that they've been limited or banned, from this league, they're actually really formidable Pokemon, and this team actually will show you how scary Altaria and Registeel can be. Combined with Gengar, it's a really good safe switch. It can just turn a lot of scenarios around, as you will see from the situation here. I was able to take out a Wigglytuff. For some reason he didn't shield, which is pretty amazing. And I could even throw a Shadow Punch at this Marvel. So Marvel obviously would have been really annoying to face with my Registeel, so thankfully now that I've paired it up with my Altaria, I can actually take it out. And I've still got a decent amount of shields, so this should be a pretty comfortable match. Had my opponent shielded, he would have actually won the game most likely, because now I've just aligned my Registeel with this Alola Ninetales and pretty much GG right now, because Alola Ninetales gets walled by Registeel. Registeel is extremely thick. Even Medicham can struggle without shields. So I'm going to show you the true power of Registeel and Altaria, but this is a really strong team, so if you have a few days left of the Remix Cup, please guys try it out. It's pretty much fun. And as you can see, I'm going to go for a Focus Blast. Registeel has some really great moves, and this Focus Blast is more than enough to take out this Mobile. So Shadow Mobile could be quite tricky, but this team can handle it pretty well. So onto a really bad lead. So obviously Altaria hates to see Ice types as well as Fairies, Charmers, but that's where Gengar comes in. Sorry guys, it's early morning, I've lost my words. That's where Gengar comes in. Gengar can be a really good pivot for the team, and my opponent actually comes out with a Politoed, which is kind of bad, because Politoed can actually outpace me to my charge moves, and the mud shots are starting to chip away slowly. But yeah, weather balls will hurt as well, so I can't really turn this game around, because obviously even if I throw a Sludge Bomb, it won't be enough to KO the Politoed, and Shadow Punches don't really do too much damage because Politoed is quite thick. So I'm able to lose that matchup anyway. It's totally fine. I'm hoping my opponent actually doesn't have a Blizzard, but thankfully I'm able to farm it down with Dragon Breath, and my opponent actually switches out into his Ninetales, and I switch out straight into my Registeel. So this is kind of bad, because obviously I lost the safe switch match. So my opponent actually has Power Punch. So Power Punch is really problematic. I think Medicham with Power Punch can actually beat Registeel. If it didn't have Power Punch, it's a bit more in your favor, because you can actually get to 2 Flash Cannons, and if you don't have any shields, you can actually take out the match. So this is pretty much a GG. Little Ninetales in the back against my Altaria. My Altaria can't really do much against that. So Altaria gets walled by the Ninetales, and Ninetales gets walled by the Registeel, and Registeel kind of gets walled by the Medicham. So this is kind of the right alignment. So again, it is a rock, scissors, paper type meta. So if you start off really well, start off with a good lead, you can actually transition that into a strong win. So I did throw a Sky Attack here. My opponent, doesn't have to worry about anything. Nothing that Altaria will do will actually do a lot of damage, and actually survive the Weather Ball, which I was surprised. It must be the good IVs on my Altaria. So I was thinking about surrendering the match, but it was pretty much over anyway, so it was pretty much GG. So on to the next game, onto a pretty good lead. So this is where Altaria is a really strong lead. So Altaria can actually whittle down the Deoxys with the Dragon Breath, and even he brings in his Vigoroth. So Vigoroth again isn't a great switch in, because even though it can spam the body slams really effectively, and they will start to chip away, the reason Altaria is still good because the Dragon Breath just adds up so much damage over time, and he gets to sky attacks relatively well. And you know, Altaria being quite bulky, kind of a bulky Pokemon, it can actually take hits really well as well. So this matchup is pretty safe. I could have gone into Gengar, but obviously Gengar doesn't have a really good matchup against Vigoroth. So I'm leaving that to kind of pair up with, or pair up against the Defense Deoxys later on. So I'm going to try and obviously win the switch. My opponent obviously was already down a shield, and I'm able to win the switch as well. And he actually has an Obstagoon in the back. So this is kind of problematic because Obstagoon actually destroys my back line. So I want to see how this actually works out, because even when I first saw it, I was like, oh shit, this is going to be tricky. So the reason why I'm bringing obviously Registeel is because Gengar really can't do too much against it. Yes, it has Sludge Bomb, but obviously that Obstagoon is loaded with energy, so I kind of obviously brought it in to kind of absorb some. It can take some cross chops fairly well. Registeel is really tanky, and my opponent actually comes back in with his Defense Deoxys, so he gives up switch that way. So I go into my Gengar because that's obviously the play. He goes straight for the Psycho Boost, and he lowers his attack. So here I've already used 2 shields up, but I'm farming as much as possible. I'm going to deny him getting to the next Psycho Boost, and this should take out the Defense Deoxys. And now I've got quite a lot of energy built, and I was trying to go for the Sludge Bomb, but my opponent actually beat me to a Night Slash, which thankfully my Gengar survives with just a little bit of health. I was like, this is GG basically, I've lost this, and I'm able to get off the Sludge Bomb, Sludge Wave, Sludge Bomb, and we simultaneously KO. So yeah, kind of tricky, but thankfully Gengar pulled in, or came in clutch at the end. This team performs really well. You know, OxfordU is a really good content creator, really good team builder, and he built a really strong team for this cup. And you know, you think Altaria wouldn't have much play in a meta where there isn't really, well, apart from Steels and Charmers, it actually does well against everything else. So if you have good counters for obviously the Steel types, which Registeel counters itself, as well as the Charmers, and Gengar is a good save switch. If you had Focus Blast, it'd be really good, but Sludge Bomb is actually quite good because it covers the Fairy and the Charmers. So this matchup is a little interesting because Skuntank is a Shadow Skuntank is quite unusual. Don't really see it too much, but yeah, he obviously shields and he gets switch, which is totally fine. And now obviously I'm gonna have to take all these crunches. It will be doing neutral damage, but because it's shadow boosted damage, it is gonna hurt a little bit. So he's chipped away quite a lot. Obviously I can't bring in my Gengar because Gengar is useless against poison and dark types. So I'm going for the Flash Cannon here. My opponent is obviously down 2 shields, so I've got 2 shields, so there's still hope. My opponent actually has a Defense Deoxys, and now because my opponent used 2 shields on his Skuntank, my Gengar can outpace this Null Ninetales to everything, and it has 2 shields obviously, and the Charms, you know, are resisted too. So this damage is going to go through. This is more than enough to take out the Null Ninetales. Bam, boom, done. And now Defense Deoxys really can't do much as well, even if it had Psycho Boost, because it doesn't have too much energy built. I didn't let the Defense Deoxys actually farm my Registeel too much, so that was perfectly fine. And also Registeel has a bit of energy as well in case I do need to use it as well. But yeah, Gengar has this match. Gengar had loads of time to build up a lot of energy, and I come out of that match with 1 shield. So my opponent obviously tried to keep switch, but inevitably sometimes using 2 shields at the start can actually help you lose the game as well. So this is a terrible lead. This team is actually really good at switching the lead. So my opponent obviously switches out into his Shadow Victory Bell, which is nice to see. It's been a long time. So here obviously I'm charging quite a lot. The Razor Leafs are resisted, so thankfully I can survive a little bit longer, and I've got 2 Shadow Punches ready. So this is to get both shields. Once your opponent surrenders both shields, the rest of the game is a lot easier to actually manage. And now my opponent is gonna obviously be farmed down with this Altaria, which is totally fine, because yeah, Altaria doesn't really have anything else it can do right now apart from farm this victory belt, and I know this Bastiodon's gonna come in. My switch timer isn't up as well, so I was trying to fully time it out properly, but I am gonna have to take some rock throws, smackdowns. But thankfully through a sky attack, and I'm able to take out the switch timer completely, and then I switch into Registeel. Registeel obviously really severely hard counters Bastiodon, and he actually brings out his Medicham. So thankfully I was able to get a few lock-ons before Medicham came in, and I'm able to get to the first Flash Cannon. And this is what I'm trying to say. My opponent went down 2 shields, and because he doesn't have Power Punch, actually he does have Power Punch, he used it once before, but because he used it before, and now I can shoot up the second one, and that would have done quite a lot of damage, but I'm so close to my Flash Cannon, which is perfect, because now this next Flash Cannon is going to take it out, and I've got more than enough health left to take out the Bastiodon because smackdowns are resisted, and the shield is coming in clutch. So all I need to do is race to the Focus Blast, which Registeel can get to really quickly, and this is going to be more than enough damage to take it out. One thing I've noticed is XL Bastiodons are super thick. Like, they can survive a full-on Focus Blast and have energy left over, which actually works out better for the Registeel matchup because you can actually farm it down from that point and actually get a Flash Cannon or a Focus Blast again. Flamethrower is going to do damage, but it's not a lot of damage. It can survive 2. 3 will take it out. So onto a pretty good lead against a Vigoroth. Like I said again, Vigoroth can only threaten me with Body Slams. No moves can actually take me out or one-shot me. So what I'm doing is just chunking away with the Dragon Breath damage, and you can probably see, you know, my opponent actually does switch out. He gives up his switch into Pelipper. Pelipper, kind of tricky for this team. Altaria has a good matchup against it. I do have to shield the Hurricane because Hurricane hits super hard. Hurricane is so broken, but it is a good move, and Pelipper does utilize it really well. I can't go into Gengar because Gengar is going to get outpaced, or it's going to be an even game, but Gengar is going to take a lot more damage from the Weather Balls, whereas Shadow Punch won't be doing too much, and Pelipper resists everything Registeel can throw at it. So that's not a great switch in. So the reason I switch out here is because Pelipper is low enough now, where if I get to a Focus Blast, get to a Flash Cannon, the Flash Cannon will be more than enough to take it out. And the reason why I'm keeping my Altaria alive is because I want to keep it for the end game, because it can actually become useful. And my opponent also threw quite a lot of energy, gets to a 3rd Weather Ball, so this spammy Pelipper is just throwing everything it can before it gets taken out, which is totally fine. You know, I've kind of got to accept that. He's got Vigoroth as well, so this is one of those things where bringing Registeel a little bit later helps, because he can bring his own Vigoroth back in, and now he has quite a lot less farm to get from this Registeel. So now I can bring in my Altaria again. Still got a shield, which is going to come in really handy. And I should have to come in with Gengar. It's because the only move Vigoroth can actually threaten me with is Bulldoze, and most likely he's going to go for the Bulldoze because he has quite a lot of energy built up. And I knew I would outpace him to a Body Slam, Sludge Bomb, if he threw a Body Slam bait. So this is going to be more than enough to take out the Vigoroth. Sludge Bomb does so much damage from Gengar. It's an awesome move. And in the back, my opponent actually has a Mandibuzz, so this is like a hard countered team to a point, like the backline is. Mandibuzz can have a lot of damage against this team. I'm able to get the first Sludge Bomb off, which is really good. It does quite a lot of damage, so had I still had a shield, this would have been awesome, but obviously I had to use it quite effectively. And now this Altaria is going to try its best to do as much damage as possible, but Mandibuzz gets to his charge moves really fast. So unlucky match there. Obviously Gengar is walled by Mandibuzz quite a bit, Mandibuzz. But it's all good. These were obviously my first few sets playing. Like, to be honest, I've had really good sets for this team. I've gone 5-0s, I've gone 4-1s consistently, 3-2s, a few 2-3s here and there. The team has been really good and has a really strong performance. That's one of the best things about it. It's really good at catching a lot of Pokemon because most of the Charmers are in the back, and most people lead it with a Medicham or Defense Deoxys or anything else. So Altaria has a really good play against that, whereas if Altaria was in the back, it'd pretty much get hard counted if it came in on a switch. So my opponent is coming in here with his Bastiodon, and obviously you know what happens. Registeel is scary good against a Bastiodon. Look, this is what I'm talking about. An XL Bastiodon can actually survive a Focus Blast, but look, it puts it into the range where I can actually farm it down, and he doesn't get to the Flamethrower. Well, he got to one Flamethrower already, which is totally fine. But look, I've got full charge move ready on Registeel, and Registeel with energy is super strong. So that's all you need. Registeel obviously needs just the charge moves, and you know what, like I said, 2 Splash Cannons are enough to take out a Medicham, and I get to a second one as well. So this most likely will probably get a shield as well. And it does, which is totally fine because Medicham is low. He has farmed quite a lot now, but it's totally fine because I won the matchup, and now I can spring in my Gengar. Gengar will also have to shield twice because these Ice Punches will hurt, and the Psychic obviously will hurt a lot. So I've got to obviously respect that. And my opponent actually switches out into a Sableye. So Sableye has a pretty good matchup against Gengar, but Gengar is ahead on energy, and I'm able to obviously throw this first Shadow Punch. And I switch out here because I wanted to just farm down the Sableye. I knew anything that it would throw at me wouldn't actually be that effective, and to be honest, with the CMP tie, I wanted to come in and throw the Sky Attack, but it's totally fine. Medicham has a bit of energy, but not too much because he already threw a move. I still got a shield, and so has the Medicham. So had I been able to, and I'm actually able to get to a Sky Attack. So it came super close, but thankfully Medicham lost his power up, and he has to shield. And now I've still got, don't actually have energy on my Gengar, but I know these next Shadow Claws can actually do quite a lot of damage. So I shielded the first Ice Punch, and now it's a race basically to get to the next charge move. And I think my opponent was just about to get to the next Ice Punch, but I'm able to take him out there. So so far going 2-2 with this team. Like I said, I had some really good games where I didn't record when I first started playing the team around 2750. But the team has performed really well. It helped me climb about 80 points. Again, I keep trying out spice picks too, try out different teams, and go back to this team if I'm doing really badly with other teams, because I want to bring out some fun, remix of teams. And this is actually quite a fun team, I would say. It's quite meta, but you need some sort of strong team to actually get some wins, because I'm still trying to climb to legend. So there is that. But yeah, this is obviously great because Registeel being locked into Wigglytuff is awesome, and has enough energy built as well to take out or throw a Focus Blast at Marvile. And yeah, it does farm me down. Sadly, I wasn't able to get to a Flash Cannon, which is totally fine. I should have just thrown a Flash Cannon, and most likely my opponent would have shielded. But like I said, my opponent did switch out again once I brought my Altarian, and in the back was a Shadow Gardevoir, which, yeah, isn't going to enjoy this Gengar slashing it down with Shadow Claws. So I'm able to build up so much energy, and now, it is a CMP tie. I still got 2 shields. I decided to let it go because for some reason I was a madman. I wanted to keep both shields for the Altaria, because the new Altaria doesn't work anyway. So yeah, I don't know what I was trying to do, but yeah, my opponent does obviously take me out. It's totally fine. And now I've got 2 shields for this Altaria. Even if it throws a Power Punch rate twice, it can't get to an Iron Head or what's the fairy move? Charm? No. Play Rough. I can't get to Play Rough. So totally good, and able to win that game. So on to the next game. So I think I lost 2 games straight away, and then won the next 3. So yeah, this is most likely a win. So spoilers. This is where you'd like to see Mandibuzz. Mandibuzz, like I said, has quite a good play against Registeel as well as Gengar. So Mandibuzz against Altaria is actually quite an evenish game, depending on energy. If you get ahead and can sneak, or if you don't let them sneak any fast moves through, you can actually get to your moves faster. And the reason why I build up to Dragon Pulse is because I want my opponent to shield the Sky Attack, because obviously the Sky Attack is going to do quite a lot of damage, but it's, Mandibuzz is quite thick. Yeah, it's not going to do too much, so I wanted to obviously get the first shield. This next foul play isn't going to do too much damage. I can let it go through, and now I should be able to shield up once and fully farm down the Mandibuzz. And this is what happens sometimes, depending on the matchup. Your opponent can most likely get to the next foul play if he has quite a lot of, like this case here, if he has really good IVs. So I'm using the second shield now as well, so not great on my part, but I do quickly come in with Gengar, because I want Gengar to get ahead on energy, and I want him to basically anything that's in the back most likely will be a Charmer or something weak, because Mandibuzz is basically the biggest Gengar counter, and because of that little energy lead, I'm able to get to this Shadow Punch before Deoxys gets to his Psycho Boost, because most Deoxys are running Psycho Boost, more than enough to take me out. Does so much damage, and I can bring in my Altaria to farm this down, but I decide to come in with my Registeel. So the reason why I brought in Registeel is because counters do add up, but Registeel has so much health, it can do quite well. And my opponent actually brings in a Beedrill. Beedrill, yeah, it's quite a good core breaker for the meta. Really good. Gets walled by Bastion quite a bit. Well, not walled, but the smackdowns do hurt quite a lot. So I do bring in my Altaria, trying to get the shield. I thought the Flash Cannon might get the shield, but it didn't. My opponent was smart and decided not to shield at that point. And he has enough energy to take me out here as well. So this wasn't great. And I'm not actually going to be able to lock on down this Beedrill as well, because yeah, what was I saying? This isn't a win. This is actually a loss. So I should watch all my own edited videos before I actually do this. But yeah, sadly that was a losing game, so not great. On to the next game. I'm already in my second set. I'm losing track of time, guys. But no, on to the next game, and again, another good lead. Jellicent is kind of problematic for Registeel because it resists everything Registeel can throw at it, the Ghost and Water typing. And my opponent actually switches out into his Registeel. So I am staying in and waiting for my opponent to throw his first charge move, Flash Cannon, because I want to just basically Dragon Breath the Registeel into a place where when I throw a Focus Blast, it'll be enough to take it out, whereas if he throws a Focus Blast, it won't be enough to take me out. So I'm not going to shield this because, like I said, Registeel hasn't got a great matchup against Jellicent, so I don't shield. He actually goes for a Flash Cannon, which was probably the worst thing to do because that is his lose condition. And now I go for the Focus Blast, which is totally fine. He is ahead on energy, but I can just shield up once now and then go for the Focus Blast and have tons of energy still left over. Well, tons of health left over for anything that comes back in. Most likely going to be the Jellicent, but I do have Gengar for it as well, so it's not too problematic. Seeing it in the back sometimes against Gengar or in the back against Registeel is really iffy. So able to take it out. Jellicent comes in with Hex. This is why I prefer to run Bubble, because Bubble has a much better matchup against Registeel as well as Bastiodons. And yeah, I bring in my Altaria now, and I'm just going to chip away the health with Sky Attack, so having the extra energy loaded. And I'm not worried, I'm not scared of, I'm kind of scared of an Ice Beam, but it's fine. Shadow Ball in that case isn't going to be enough to take me out, and he quickly brings in his Shadow Ninetales with not Shadow Ninetales, Alola Ninetales that has Charm, and obviously an Alola Ninetales that has a really bad matchup against Registeel because it can't really charm it down, even though I'm at really low health. He decides to shield the first Flash Cannon. So here, you know, it's a race, and I don't know if I'm actually going to be able to make it to the next Flash Cannon. So I actually let my Registeel go because I've got one shield, and I'm able to outpace the Alola Ninetales to the next charge move. So my opponent actually had quite a lot of farm on his Alola Ninetales, so that isn't great. I'm actually forced to use my shield, but I'm over farming now quite a bit because I want my Shadow Punch to be able to take it out, because I want to have energy ready for the Jellicent in the back, because Jellicent is going to be quite problematic. He does actually sneak a Hex through, but I think Jellicent is low enough now where I can just Shadow Punch and it will take it out. Thankfully, he didn't have a charge move ready because that would have been a lot worse. But able to go 3-1, so 3-2 in the first set. So that was the first set. No, that wasn't the first set. That's it, guys.